just following up, that might actually be malpractice. You might be doing your buyer harm. This is Sales for Nice People. And today we have part 0 of the Deal Diagnosis X-ray. And I think this is going to be one of the most useful assets, the most useful tools that you're going to have in your sales process. Why? Well, consider that in medicine, the first rule is do no harm. And it's a wonderful, very useful principle to operate by. You don't want to do harm to your buyers, to anybody in your world or your own business, but there are many reasons and many ways in which we can make a mistake when trying to engage with a buyer and get a deal over the line and get a new meeting, simply because we use useless perfunctory messaging. Just following up, just circling back, just checking in. Yeah, well, if you talk like that to a buyer, then you signal salesperson on the line, and what do people do with a salesperson? They ignore salespeople. So when you show up looking like a salesperson, you're going to get treated like one. And that means that your buyer might actually end up not buying your solution because they don't reply, or they don't want to have a next meeting, or they don't see it as urgent enough. They ignore you, they don't get the solution, they might not get the problem solved, or they might buy it from an inferior provider who is in competition with you. And all of that means that you have done harm to your buyer's well-being by using the wrong kind of messaging. Now, the solution obviously is, as always, Sales for Nice People, where we have a completely different approach to working the relationship with a buyer. In Sales for Nice People, everything is based on empathy, on trying to figure out what the other person is up against, and in trying to figure out with precision what you need to say in your message or in your meeting so that the other person moves forward with you. And you're not going to do that if you just take a record out of your CRM and you just go follow up. Hey, have you had a chance to look at my proposal? Instead, you want to process each of your deals, all of your opportunities, one by one, in a very simple, methodical, and calibrated way, where each time that you communicate anything with your buyer, it is designed to be as relevant and helpful and useful as possible. Because that way, you're going to get replies, you're going to get meetings, and you're going to get your buyer to buy into the process. So you cannot just process your deals and move your deals through the pipeline and send follow-up messages and hope that that's going to work. Because that means that you might not get the deal and they might not get the solution. Instead, you want to use what I call the Deal Diagnosis X-ray. That is a simple set of very specific questions that if you ask yourself those questions for each of the deals, you're going to know exactly where the deal stands, what has to happen, what your buyer is up against, and what you need to say in order to get your deal moving forward. Today is part 0 of the Deal Diagnosis X-ray. Tomorrow is going to be chapter 1 with the question, where actually is this deal at? So if you want to get the series, go to salesfornicepeople.com/sign up, where you can get a daily email with the whole series and the PDF once it's ready. I hope that's helpful. Make sure you get the Deal Diagnosis X-ray. Go to salesfornicepeople.com/sign up, and I will see you again tomorrow.